I'm Sam, 33M, and I've been engaged to Vivian, 32F, for the past year. We'd been together for 6 years before I proposed. I thought we had a great relationship, but I guess I was wrong. I met Vivian during our last year of college. We were both majoring in business administration at State University. I remember the first time I saw her. It was in our advanced marketing class. She walked in late, looking flustered, her long brown hair slightly messy from the wind outside. Our eyes met, and she gave me a sheepish smile as she took the only available seat, which happened to be next to me. We started talking after class, and I was immediately drawn to her quick wit and infectious laugh. We discovered we had a lot in common. We both loved hiking, were addicted to true crime podcasts, and had a weakness for spicy food. It wasn't long before we started dating. After graduation, we both landed jobs in the same city. I got an entry-level position at a marketing firm, while Vivian started as an assistant brand manager for a cosmetics company. We were excited to start our careers and our life together. We found a small apartment downtown, nothing fancy, but it was ours. I remember spending weekends scouring thrift stores for furniture, laughing as we tried to assemble IKEA pieces without killing each other. As the years went by, our careers progressed. I worked my way up to senior marketing manager, and Vivian became a brand director. We moved to a nicer apartment, adopted a rescue dog named Max, and started talking about our future together. I've always known I wanted to settle down and start a family. It was something I'd dreamed about since I was young. My own parents had a strong, loving relationship, and I wanted that for myself. Vivian seemed to want the same things. We'd often talk about how many kids we wanted. We agreed on 2, what we'd name them, and where we'd want to raise them. Last year, on our 6th anniversary, I decided it was time to propose. I planned a weekend getaway to the mountains, where we had our first hiking trip together. I hid the ring in my backpack, nervously checking it was still there every few minutes during our hike. When we reached the summit, with the sun setting behind us, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks, I got down on one knee and asked Vivian to marry me. Her eyes filled with tears as she said yes, and I felt like the luckiest man alive. We started planning our wedding, set for next summer. We wanted an outdoor ceremony, something intimate with just our closest friends and family. Vivian threw herself into the planning, creating Pinterest boards and dragging me to venue visits. I was just happy to see her so excited. One of my closest friends is Billy, 31M. We've known each other since high school. We met in detention. I was there for skipping class to go to a concert, and Billy was there for getting into a fight with a guy who was bullying him. We bonded over our shared love for rock music and have been friends ever since. Billy came out as gay during our sophomore year of college. I remember him calling me, sounding nervous, asking if we could meet up. When he told me, I hugged him and told him I was proud of him. Our friendship didn't change. If anything, it got stronger. I was there for him when he had his heart broken for the first time, and he was there for me through my ups and downs. When I started dating Vivian, I was a bit worried about how she'd get along with Billy. He can be a bit sarcastic and take some getting used to. But to my surprise, they hit it off immediately. They shared a similar dry sense of humor, and soon enough, the 3 of us were hanging out regularly. Movie nights, game nights, weekend brunches. Billy became a constant presence in our lives. About 3 months ago, I noticed Vivian started acting strange. She was always on her phone, smiling at texts. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd say it was just work stuff. I didn't think much of it at first. She'd recently taken on a big project at work, so I figured she was just busy. But then I noticed other changes. She started going out more often, claiming she was meeting up with her girlfriends. She'd come home late, smelling faintly of alcohol and cigarettes, which was odd, because Vivian had quit smoking years ago. When I'd ask about her night, she'd give vague answers and quickly change the subject. I didn't want to be the jealous, suspicious boyfriend, so I tried to push my concerns aside. I trusted Vivian completely. We'd been together for so long, and we were planning our future together. I thought we were happy, but then I noticed she was pulling away from me. We weren't intimate as often, and when we were, it felt different. She seemed distracted, like her mind was elsewhere. I tried talking to her about it, asking if everything was okay, if work was stressing her out. She'd assure me everything was fine, give me a quick kiss, and find some reason to leave the room. Last month, Billy called me out of the blue. He sounded upset and asked if we could meet up. I agreed, worried something was wrong. We met at the coffee shop where we used to study during college. As soon as I saw Billy's face, I knew something was seriously wrong. He looked like he hadn't slept in days, his usually perfectly styled hair a mess. That's when my world turned upside down. Billy confessed that he and Vivian had been seeing each other for the past 2 months. He said it started innocently. They'd bump into each other at the gym and chat. Then they started meeting up for coffee. Before they knew it, things had turned romantic. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My fiancé and my gay friend? It made no sense. Billy was in tears, saying he never meant for it to happen. He said he'd always been attracted to men, but there was something about Vivian that drew him in. He said he'd been struggling with his sexuality, wondering if he was bisexual. I left the coffee shop in a daze. I didn't know what to think or feel. My mind was racing, replaying every interaction between Vivian and Billy, wondering how I could have been so blind. I drove around for hours, not wanting to go home and face reality. When I finally got home, I confronted Vivian. She broke down and admitted everything. She said she'd developed feelings for Billy and was confused about her sexuality. She swore she never meant to hurt me, that she still loved me, but she couldn't deny her feelings for Billy. I was devastated. Not only had Vivian cheated on me, but she'd done it with one of my closest friends. Someone I trusted completely. Someone who I thought could never be a threat to our relationship. The two people I trusted most in the world had betrayed me in the worst possible way. Vivian begged for forgiveness. She said she was confused and made a mistake. She swore she still loved me and wanted to marry me. But I couldn't get past the betrayal. The image of them together kept flashing in my mind. I told her to pack her things and leave. It's been a week since then. Vivian's been staying with her sister. She keeps calling and texting, asking for another chance. She says she's willing to go to couples therapy, to do whatever it takes to fix our relationship. Billy has been trying to reach out too, but I've blocked both of them. I'm still in shock. I can't believe this is happening. I keep expecting to wake up and find out it was all a bad dream. But every morning, I wake up to an empty bed and the realization that my life has fallen apart. I've told our families and mutual friends what happened. Most of them are supportive, but some are saying I should try to work things out with Vivian. They say it was just a mistake, and that Billy turned her temporarily. But I don't think I can ever trust her again. How can I look at her without wondering if she's thinking about him? How can I ever be intimate with her again without feeling insecure? I'm not sure what to do now. The wedding was supposed to be in 6 months. We'd already put down deposits on the venue and catering. Now I have to cancel everything and explain to everyone why the wedding is off. The thought of having to relive this humiliation over and over as I tell people is almost unbearable. I feel like my whole life has been turned upside down. I thought I knew who I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and now I'm alone. I keep replaying everything in my head, wondering if there were signs I missed. Should I have noticed something was off? Was I not attentive enough? Did I do something to push Vivian away? I'm angry, hurt, and confused. I'm angry at Vivian for throwing away our relationship, at Billy for betraying our friendship, and at myself for not seeing it coming. I'm hurt because I truly loved Vivian and thought we had a future together. And I'm confused because I don't know how to move forward from here. I've been staying with my parents for the past few days. They've been great, giving me space when I need it and listening when I want to talk. But I know I can't hide here forever. I have to figure out what to do next. Has anyone else been through something like this? How do you move on from such a betrayal? Any advice would be appreciated. I feel lost and could use some guidance. Update. 1. It's been about a month since my last post and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. It really helped me get through some tough days. After my last post, I decided to go no contact with both Vivian and Billy. I blocked them on all social media and changed my phone number. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was necessary for my mental health. The first few days were the hardest. I kept reaching for my phone to text Vivian about something funny that happened at work, or to ask Billy if he wanted to grab a beer. Then I'd remember, and the pain would hit me all over again. I moved back to my apartment. Walking in for the first time was like a punch to the gut. Everywhere I looked, there were reminders of Vivian and our life together. The throw pillows she insisted on buying, the photos of us on the walls, even the mug she always used for her morning coffee. It all felt tainted now. I spent the first night sleeping on the couch because I couldn't bring myself to sleep in our bed. The next day, I started packing up Vivian's things. It was a surreal experience, boxing up 6 years of memories. I found things I'd forgotten about, ticket stubs from our first concert together, the birthday card I gave her last year with "Future Mrs. Thompson" written inside, the sweatshirt of mine she always used to steal. Each item was like a knife to the heart. I asked Vivian's sister to come pick up her things. I couldn't face seeing Vivian, and I didn't trust myself not to break down if I did. Her sister came while I was at work. She left a note apologizing for what Vivian had done and saying she hoped I could find happiness. I appreciated the gesture, but it did little to ease the pain. About 2 weeks ago, I ran into Vivian at the grocery store. It was bound to happen eventually. We live in the same neighborhood. But I wasn't prepared for how it would feel. She looked different somehow, or maybe it was just that I was seeing her through new eyes. It was awkward, to say the least. She tried to talk to me, saying she'd made a huge mistake and wanted another chance. I told her I wasn't interested in hearing it and walked away. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely push my cart. The next day, I found out from a mutual friend that Vivian and Billy are now officially dating. Apparently, they've decided to explore their feelings for each other. I don't know how to feel about this. On one hand, it confirms that I made the right decision in ending things. On the other hand, it hurts to know they're together while I'm alone. I keep wondering if they're happy, if they're laughing about how they fooled me, if Billy is a better partner for Vivian than I was. I've been focusing on myself these past few weeks. I joined a gym and have been working out regularly. It helps me clear my head and deal with the anger and frustration. There's something satisfying about pushing myself to the limit, feeling the burn in my muscles instead of the ache in my heart. I've also been spending more time with my other friends, the ones who've stood by me through all of this. We've been having weekly game nights, which have been a good distraction. One unexpected development is that I've become closer to Vivian's brother, Tom, 35M. He reached out to me after finding out what happened, saying he was disgusted by his sister's behavior. We've been hanging out a lot, and it's been nice to have someone who understands the situation. Tom's been going through a rough patch in his own marriage, so we've been supporting each other. Last week, Tom told me something that made me realize how deep the betrayal goes. Apparently, Vivian had confided in him about her feelings for Billy months ago, long before I found out. Tom had advised her to come clean to me, but she chose not to. It hurts to know that her own brother saw this coming and I was completely blind to it. I keep wondering who else knew, who else was laughing behind my back while I remained oblivious. I've started the process of canceling the wedding arrangements. It's been a nightmare dealing with vendors and trying to get deposits back. Some have been understanding, but others are giving me a hard time. It's just another painful reminder of what I've lost. Every email, every phone call feels like I'm canceling my future, not just a party. I'm still struggling with trust issues. The idea of dating again seems impossible right now. How can I ever trust someone fully after this? I know not everyone is like Vivian, but it's hard not to be cynical. I find myself analyzing every interaction, looking for hidden motives or signs of deceit. It's exhausting. Despite everything, I'm trying to stay positive. I've started planning a solo trip for what would have been our wedding month. I figure I might as well use that time to do something for myself instead of wallowing in what could have been. I'm thinking of going to New Zealand. It's always been on my bucket list, and Vivian was never interested in going. It feels like a small act of rebellion, doing something just for me. I still have moments where I miss Vivian and the life we had planned together. I miss waking up next to her, sharing inside jokes, planning our future. But then I remind myself of what she did, and I know I'm better off without her. It's a long road ahead, but I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm grateful for the support I've received from this community. It helps to know I'm not alone in this. To anyone else going through something similar, hang in there. It does get better, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Update 2. It's been 3 months since my last update, and 6 months since the initial breakup. Life has been a roller coaster, but I'm starting to feel like I'm on more stable ground. The solo trip I mentioned in my last update was exactly what I needed. I spent 2 weeks backpacking through New Zealand, visiting places I'd always wanted to see. It was liberating to be on my own, making decisions without having to consider anyone else. I hiked the Tongariro Alpine Crossing, went bungee jumping in Queenstown, something I never thought I'd do, and spent a night stargazing at Lake Tekapo. The physical challenge of the hikes and the breathtaking scenery helped put things in perspective. During my trip, I met some great people at the hostels I stayed at. There was a group of backpackers from various countries, and we ended up traveling together for a few days. It was refreshing to talk to people who didn't know my history, who just saw me as Sam the traveler, not Sam the guy who got cheated on. I even had a brief fling with a fellow traveler, Sarah, 29F, from Canada. It didn't lead to anything serious. We both knew it was just a vacation thing. But it helped me realize I'm not completely broken. I can still connect with someone, still feel attraction and desire. When I got back home, I found out that Vivian and Billy had moved in together. A mutual friend let it slip, not realizing I didn't know. It stung at first, but I was surprised to find that it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. I guess time really does heal wounds, or maybe the distance of my trip gave me. some much-needed perspective. I've been spending a lot more time with Tom, Vivian's brother. He's become one of my closest friends through all of this. We've been meeting up for beers regularly, playing basketball on weekends. Last month, he confided in me that he's been struggling with his relationship with Vivian. He feels torn between his loyalty to me and his love for his sister. I told him I didn't want to come between them, but he said he can't forgive her for what she did. It's a complicated situation, and I feel bad that he's caught in the middle. Work has been a great distraction. I threw myself into a big project. We're rebranding a major client, and it's been all-consuming. Late nights at the office, weekend brainstorming sessions, the works. It's been exhausting, but in a good way. I got a promotion last week, which has been a nice boost to my self-esteem. It feels good to be recognized for my hard work, especially after feeling so worthless in the aftermath of the breakup. I've started dating again, casually. Nothing serious yet, but it's nice to put myself out there. I've been using dating apps, which is a whole new world for me. It's strange to be back in the dating pool after so long, but it's also exciting. I'm still working on my trust issues, but I'm trying not to let what happened with Vivian color all my future relationships. I've been upfront about my past with the women I've met, and most have been understanding. One unexpected development is that I've reconnected with an old friend from college, Rachel, 32F. We lost touch after graduation, but we ran into each other at a mutual friend's birthday party. We've been hanging out a lot, and there might be something there. She knows about what happened with Vivian and has been incredibly patient and understanding. I'm taking it slow, but it's nice to feel that spark again. As for Vivian and Billy, I heard through the grapevine that things aren't going as smoothly as they'd hoped. Apparently, they're struggling with the fallout from their relationship. Many of our mutual friends have distanced themselves from them. I can't say I feel sorry for them. They made their choices, and now they have to live with the consequences. I still have moments where I'm angry about what happened, but they're becoming less frequent. I'm starting to see this whole experience as a bullet dodged, rather than a loss. If Vivian could do this to me after 6 years together, who knows what might have happened if we'd actually gotten married. I'm not completely healed, but I'm getting there. I'm looking forward to the future in a way I couldn't have imagined 6 months ago. Life goes on, and I'm determined to make the most of it. Update 3. It's been a year since everything happened, and I felt it was time for a final update. A lot has changed, and I'm in a much better place now. Rachel and I have been officially dating for the past 6 months. Taking things slow really helped us build a strong foundation. She knows everything that happened with Vivian and has been incredibly understanding about my trust issues. We've had our ups and downs. There were times when my insecurities flared up, and I'd find myself questioning her loyalty for no reason. But Rachel has been patient, always willing to talk things through and reassure me. We're talking about moving in together soon, which is both exciting and a little scary. I ran into Vivian and Billy at a restaurant last month. It was the first time I'd seen them together since everything happened. It was awkward, but I was surprised to find that I felt nothing but indifference. They looked uncomfortable and left quickly. I heard later from Tom that they're having problems. Apparently the excitement of their affair has worn off, and they're struggling with the reality of their relationship. Part of me wants to feel smug about this, but mostly I just feel relieved that it's not my problem anymore. Speaking of Tom, he and I are still close friends. He eventually reconciled with Vivian to some extent, but their relationship will never be the same. He's been a great support through everything, and I'm grateful for his friendship. Work continues to go well. I've settled into my new role and even mentored a new employee. It's been rewarding to focus on my career and personal growth. The project I mentioned in my last update was a huge success, and it's opened up some exciting new opportunities for me. I've also picked up some new hobbies. I joined a local hiking group and have been exploring the great outdoors. It's been a great way to meet new people and stay active. I've also started learning to play the guitar, something I've always wanted to do but never made time for when I was with Vivian. Looking back, I can see how much I've grown from this experience. While I wouldn't wish it on anyone, I've learned a lot about myself and what I want in a relationship. I'm more assertive now, better at communicating my needs and boundaries. I've also learned the importance of maintaining my own identity within a relationship. To anyone going through something similar, I want to say that it does get better. It takes time and effort, but you can come out stronger on the other side. Don't let someone else's actions define you or your future. This will be my last update on this situation. It's no longer a defining part of my life, just a chapter that's closed. I'm looking forward to writing new chapters with Rachel and seeing what the future holds.